What's up? What's good? What's poppin'? What's crack? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It is your man Theo Butler, and welcome to a I got asked the question, and I didn't got asked this question more than one time by quite a few people, and I'm trying my best not to answer it, but at some point you got to answer. Episode, I ain't saying, I'm just saying with the rock with me. I know y'all like it is a long ass title, but there's a reason for that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. So y'all see that? Shout out to Plant Poppy. We rock with each other across social media platform, Instagram, I believe Twitter. I definitely know it's Twitter. YouTube, rocks with me on YouTube, rock with each other on YouTube. Facebook, I believe he's a member of the Council of Wakanda. And that question, what do I think about recast T'Challa? T'Challa. I know somebody named T'Challa. Be perfectly honest with you, but no, it's co-worker. Recast T'Challa. Perception versus reality. Losing steam. D-Real is looking at me right now, and it's quite a few people that know what I know that's looking at me right now like, Theo, how you finna answer this question? Shout out to Marcus, Josh, Kaizo, Mr. Stone. Y'all looking at me right now like, Theo, how you gonna answer? I'm trying my best to be very, very diplomatic when I answer this. Cause perception, more often than not, is reality. Damn what the reason is. The reason could be real. But what people think it is, sometimes that's what it is. So who all play spades? Spade players? Is any spade players amongst the Rock With Me Nation? Recast T'Challa? Anti-recasters. Y'all play spades? Okay. Shout out to my man Nicholas Reigns and everything like that. We once put it down at a spades tournament. Me and Nick stepped to the spades table, and our philosophy was very simple: play to win. Our philosophy, Nick, shout out to you, dog. Man, I love what you're doing, you and your wife and everything like that. Shout out to y'all. Two beautiful children. This was years ago. When I say years ago, this has to be 10 plus years ago. Our philosophy was simple. Nick, Army, prior service, me, Marine prior service. We sitting down at the spades table. We ain't taking no prisoners. We trying to win every book. That was our game plan. And it was simple. And we won. If we couldn't get a book, we couldn't get a book. We knew what we were doing, and we played off each other magnificently. We knew how to take the lead, fall back, take the lead. We played magnificently off of each other. Strategy. Negotiations. Strategy and negotiations. Stereotypically speaking, when you negotiate from a place of strength. Generally speaking, both sides negotiate from a place of strength. That's where they compromise. When Russia said they wanted to invade Ukraine and they talked about negotiations, they were negotiating from a place of strength. Regardless of how strong you think you are, or how weak you think you are, you negotiate. Typically speaking, you negotiate from a place of strength. So we say recast T'Challa. What did we say? I'm not going to repeat it because I wasn't the one that said it. But what was said? What did we say we wanted in regards to T'Challa? Now, shout out to my man Gabbo, Machiavelli Media and everything like that. A petition is you're saying you want something done. But if it's not done, then what? No. I'm trying my best to be as you know what I mean. But when you put out a petition, if it's not granted, what's the end result? The person that you're petitioning against has to know there's an or what. How seriously do they take your petition if there's no or what? Well, when we say recast T'Challa, what's the or what? Unilaterally, as a movement, what's the or what? Like, if Disney doesn't recast T'Challa, what's the repercussions unilaterally from the recast T'Challa movement? Anybody got any answers? Some of us have individual answers, but as a movement, what's the answer if they don't recast T'Challa? See how that go? So unilaterally, you don't have an or what. Marvel was universal. They said they're not recasting T'Challa. You heard this from Kevin Feige. You heard this from Nate Moore. Ryan Coogler has written a script. No one from the cast and crew has even addressed the recast T'Challa movement. That in and of itself is an insult to me that I take personal, because I'm a member of the recast T'Challa movement. Usually when you have a request, people sit down, they acknowledge your request. Whether they, do anything about your request is something totally different. But generally speaking, when you have a request, people acknowledge it. The recast T'Challa movement has not been acknowledged, while every other fan base has been acknowledged since December 10th, 2020. The recast T'Challa movement has not been acknowledged. And there still is no or what on the table. Even right now, we're getting ready. It's April, right? The end of April, NFL draft. Come on, Steelers, let's go. Get the right, come on. Yeah, I do pray. But we getting ready to head into May. Unilaterally, what does Marvel, if they do not choose to recast T'Challa, what's the repercussions and consequences to them not doing so? From the movement. From the movement. Not from anybody else, from the movement. Not from the movie being bad, but from the movement. What do they have to fear from the movement? That's one question. That's one issue in and of itself. When you're talking about a petition, when you're talking about a movement, leaders have to be engaged on a daily basis in regards to that movement. Let me say that one more time. The leaders of that movement have to be engaged on a daily basis. They can't take time off because there are people that are looking up to them who are interested in what they are saying. And if the leader isn't saying too much, then the emotion from the movement, the energy from the movement is going to wane. It's kind of like if you're going out there for a presidential campaign, you can't take any time off. You've got to ramp up support. You've got to continuously go hard. Do you think you could win a presidential campaign if to a degree you weren't campaigning? That's what a petition is. You're campaigning to get something done. Can't really take no time off. Now, when you have someone that's campaigning, has things that they want done, generally speaking, it isn't just them. There are people associated with them, interacting with them, you see with them, speaking for them, speaking with them. acknowledging them, acknowledging one another. That's generally what you get. Because we understand that some people aren't going to always be able to talk on it. So that keeps somebody in play. You always keep the verbiage out there. You always keep the message front and center. Regardless of who's saying it, there's someone to say the message and keep it front and center. Well, if you don't have that, now, those two things, reverse order, the message must be consistent. There has to be an or what. I would not be responsible if I didn't tell y'all that to a degree this was by design. Now, you can question why things are being done this way, and I can't necessarily say I agree with it wholeheartedly. I understand it. Doesn't mean I agree with it. But everybody that believes in recasting T'Challa, we're all adults. We're all incredible thinkers. We're smart. We're intelligent. Plant Poppy, you've been rocking with me. I've been rocking with you for a minute. You're not the first question. You're not the first person to raise that question. That question actually got raised to me a month ago. I share your sentiments. I'm trying to be very, very diplomatic in what I'm saying. While I may be one of the leaders of the Recast T'Challa movement, I'm not the leader. I have my videos, quite a few, but I, as well as a few others who would be more than happy to do this day in and day out, we don't have the national recognition. We don't have the national push to make this a daily talking point. We are where we are at. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're trying to expand so that the message can be more consistent, so that more education about T'Challa can be shared. We're trying. We are trying our damnedest. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. So if we want the message to be more consistent, out front, in the public eye, we're going to have to ask the people who are out there in the public eye why the message isn't more consistent, why it isn't being said on a daily basis. And I get it. I get it. And I understand. But historically speaking, leaders of movements don't take time off. They don't. The successful ones don't anyway. To quote those who raised me, for the most part, when it comes to Recast T'Challa, I eat, sleep, shit, and breathe Recast T'Challa. I'm not the only one. I'm not. But those like me are dealing with the same issues I'm dealing with. So I hope I said it. I tried to answer it as best I could and be diplomatic about it, but I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Peace.